this is Seema and welcome back to another session. Okay, so I want to tell you that English speaking, well, you know, is like really simple. Yeah. Okay, what did I just do here? If I took out the words, well, like, I could have simply said English speaking is really simple. Why? Because filler words like the like, they make you sound as if you are not confident. However, let me tell you, filler words, at least some of them, are not all that bad. Yes, some filler words can actually make you sound more confident. Don't believe me? Okay, here's a fact. When I was learning English, there were some filler words that really helped me carry on my conversation without making any awkward pauses, without sounding non-confident. So if you're having a similar issue, don't worry. I'm here to help you speak confidently by showing you what filler phrases you can use so that when you're talking, you don't sound like you don't know what to say. You don't sound like there is nothing more you can say anymore, right? So let's have a look at some filler phrases to help you speak seamlessly and confidently. Okay, so I've got two filler phrases for you. Well, actually, the first one is a filler word, which is basically. Now, how can I use that in a conversation to make me sound confident without feeling a little silly because I don't know what to say? Okay, let me tell you. Basically is a filler word which is used when you need to think about your answer or your statement. For example, I can say, I need to basically study better if I want to do well. Or I need basically a better study plan. Okay, so you actually wanted to say, I need a better study plan. But instead of pausing, you simply said, I need basically a study plan, which actually gave you time to think about what you were going to say next, right? So if you want to feel more confident, don't pause. Just put that filler word in like basically. Now, you can also use or actually by saying, actually, I think that a better study plan is quite necessary. So instead of waiting and thinking, you can use the filler phrase, actually, I think, followed by your actual idea, which is, actually, I think that a better study plan is quite necessary. A very common filler phrase you will hear is, or something like that. Well, why do you use that? You use that in a sentence when you're not sure about the exact amount. So let's say I'm baking a cake, right? How many of us love to bake a cake, right? So, well, I was baking a cake, so I could say this cake recipe needs 6 eggs and probably 4 sticks of butter or something like that. So what am I doing here? I'm not sure, but I don't want to be awkward about not being sure. So I kind of, instead of giving the wrong amount and being all worried about the wrong information, I will simply say this cake needs 6 eggs and 4 sticks of butter or something like that. Or I could say, we're gonna take like around 10 minutes or something like that. Okay, so that's another filler phrase you can use when you're feeling a little not sure of what you're gonna say. The next filler phrase you can use is, I mean. I mean, have you heard people say that? It's pretty common, right? Well, why do they say that? They say that when they are trying to clarify or emphasize what they are going to say. Okay, so let's say I'm trying to hire a guy to work for me. I'm in an interview and I really think he's a great guy, but I don't think he's fit for the job. So I'm emphasizing that, look, I think you're good. So I can say something like, I mean, you are a great guy, but I don't think you're right for this particular job, right? So instead of being all awkward and saying, you're not good for this job. I'm just saying, you are a great guy, but not good for this job. So this phrase is used to make sure that you correct also your mistakes while speaking. So in case you've made a mistake, which we all do while talking, you can also say, I have 24 books on this topic. Or I wrote 25 articles. 27 articles on this particular topic. Okay, so how can you actually use filler words in your conversations? I believe it's a matter of practice. When you are talking, it's very important to be very aware of how you can actually put this in the right context. So, I think it's very interesting to know that native English speakers use filler phrases and filler words like a lot of times. However, how are you going to be in a position to learn from them? Well, I believe we've already mentioned this in my previous videos where we talk about the Cambly app. Well, this is an amazing app where you can get to speak to native English speakers 24/7. And they are from all parts of the world, including the United Kingdom, the United States of America, Australia, and so many other countries. So all you have to do is download the app, talk to them, and you will get numerous ways of actually applying these filler phrases in your conversation, and you will watch yourself get more confident, just like I did whenever I have to say anything. So I'm going to show you how we can go ahead and use the Cambly app. Okay, so let's first look at the Cambly app. You have to download this app onto your phone. Well, I already seem to have a Cambly account, as you can already see. So all you have to do is log into the app. There are various options like menu, reservations, lessons, and tutors. Lessons talks about the different plans that we have. And if you click onto tutors, you will see a wide variety of tutors that are available. And because they have this green mark next to them, it means that they are available to speak right now. And there's a lot of them from every part of the world simply waiting to teach you and train you in fluent English. So let's see who we can speak to right now. I think Tom Fairbrother seems to be available, so let us place a call and get in touch with him. Just a few minutes and...
Hi, how are you doing?
Hi, Tom.
Hi, nice to meet you. Michelle, right?
No, my name's Seema.
Seema, okay.
That's right. Well, I am a teacher myself. I do teach the English language. I do.
Right. You sound more British than I do.
Well, I'm not British, but thank you. Well, the reason I called is because I am trying to figure out a way where I can help my students speak more confidently. What I've observed is that when they are trying to string a sentence together, they kind of have these pauses in between because they don't know what to say. They're kind of at a loss of words.
Sure, okay.
So I believe that native English speakers like yourself a lot of times use certain filler phrases in order to kind of, cover the gaps in between a sentence. So can you demonstrate a few and tell us how you can use them with a few examples maybe?
Sure, yeah. I mean, you have connecting phrases, obviously, which connect one idea to the next, which is one thing. But quite often, people have phrases that they use, and it's quite individual. So one person might be explaining something, and quite often they'll say, "Well, it's like this, blah blah blah. You know what I mean?" So phrases like that. You know what I mean? Or do you get me? Or do you understand what I'm saying? Little phrases like that, people just throw them in there quite often. Or kind of thing is another one. People quite often say, well, it's like this, I sort of like football at the weekends, but I don't like to play too often kind of thing. And it's these little phrases, that people just kind of throw in there. Are you teaching younger people or adults?
Well, all age groups really, but I think this could help everybody. About the filler phrases, I think the ones I've learned from you is saying things like, you know what I mean? I think that
Yeah,
shows that's a way of finding out whether they've understood what you've said, right? Like you're saying
yes,
something and you end up saying, you know what I mean? Or
yeah,
you
yeah,
see, or
yeah,
it's
exactly.
like that, which means you're kind of talking about something very approximate in value, probably.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it kind of when you're having a longer conversation and you start talking and you suddenly realize, you kind of the person might not understand what you're talking about.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Do you
Yeah.
understand what I mean?
Well, Tom, that's really helpful, and I think I have a few tips that I can now use with my students, and I'll
Okay,
definitely share these with them. And I look forward to seeing them a lot more confident than they are right now.
great. Okay, well, that sounds great.
Yeah.
Good luck with it all.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you soon. Bye bye.
Okay, nice to meet you.
See
Bye.
ya. Bye. Well, that was great. I got to learn 5 new filler phrases in a matter of a few minutes. How? By simply talking to a native English speaker, right? And you can do that too by downloading this app that gives you access to a variety of plans which are specific to your language requirements. Now, this app is not free. However, since you're a subscriber with us, you can get a 30% discount on any plan that you choose. So hurry up because there's a link in the description of this video to help you get signed up for your dose of English learning. Well, that's it for today. I hope you liked this session and I would like to know of your feedback on the Cambly app. So let me know how it went and let me know whether these filler phrases really helped you to sound more confident. I'll be back with some more lessons. Until then, this is me saying ta-da.